So AH and her team's newest plan, it failed and utterly, as they decided they were going to go after the judge in Virginia since she shut down all of their motions. They were going to give her terrible reviews. They were going to show her what for. Well, guess what? That was met by positive reviews. We are talking about dozens and dozens of positives as well. You can see all of these here. Yeah, not only did they lose all of their negatives, but now, well, the judge, they've had their rating driven up from whatever it was before to one of the highest levels on the site. Way to go there. That was a big failure. And not only did that happen, but it ended up trending. So people the world over saw exactly what AH and her team were doing. I mean, you talk about terrible plans. They can't win in the courtroom. They can't even win on review sites. This is hilarious. You and I, we are going to talk about all of that stuff today, too. Oh, fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. So, hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. And talk about a dumb decision. I mean, going after a judge, trying to ruin their reputation, thinking that's going to help you out in a courtroom. Yeah, that's not smart. But you know what? That's what AH and her people, they have been doing all of this time, whether it's in the mainstream media, saying the judge, they wouldn't let us talk about things, whether that's in filings, complaining about the judge, or whether it's like this, we're going to ruin the judge's reputation. I mean, really, what makes you think that that's a good idea? This stuff ends up trending too. Here's a post about it as well. Let me read this to you. J.D. Peeps, Judge Penny, of course, Judge Penny is the judge that was over the Virginia case, is getting pummeled by AH's minions. Go to the robing room, and I'll discuss what that is in just a second, and take this survey about what kind of a judge she is. AH wants to destroy everyone involved in shutting down her lies, and they connect not only the place that this is happening to, but they also connect what type of feedback these people are leaving. I'm not going to read some of that feedback either, because I do not want my name associated to what they were saying about a federal judge. But let's just say some of the things that they were saying, they were really, really nasty. So the site that this is happening on is a judge rating side. And you'll notice the judge here, the attorney rating, they're carrying a 9.8 on 366 ratings. Non-attorney rating currently, and I'm sure they're still scrubbing some of the fake reviews off of it, but they're a 9 out of 945 ratings. And if you look at how this sets up, you have to add an email, confirm email, zip code, occupation, and then on that, you're judging by specific criteria. Criteria includes temperament, scholarship, industriousness, punctuality, flexibility in scheduling, criminal rating criteria, even-handedness in criminal litigation, involvement in plea discussion. I mean, you can see all of that there. Civil rating criteria, evilness in civil litigation, involvement in settlement discussions, and then it allows comments. And the comments, like I said, that were coming in on this, I mean, some of them are kind of shocking when you see it. Again, these folks were talking about a federal judge. They kept talking about how this judge, they were involved in all these plots they couldn't connect to anything, by the way. They were also saying that, well, this judge, they're involved with DV and all of this other stuff. Again, why would you ever do that? Especially when this judge, is somebody that still can make decisions. I don't think the brain trust gets that yet. They're still involved in decision making. Well, after they put in all of this stuff, well, guess what happens? You had, again, it trend. People worldwide found out about it. They contacted the site because, again, nasty stuff. Guess how the site responded to that? They were like, yeah, you know what? We're probably not going to leave that stuff up. They decided, however, to leave the response to that up, the positive ratings. So like I said, not only did they set out to try to destroy a judge, and again, that could impact you in so many negative ways, but on top of that, they ended up jacking up the rating because the response there, it pushed it through the roof. You can see right here, here's one, 10 rating. Must have the patience of a saint to keep such a fair and level-headed composure at times. She was more than fair to both sides in what evidence could be submitted. It's plain to anybody that watched the trial that the outcome was completely just and correct. All right, there's one. Another one here. Even though this case had about everything a trial could, from superstars to horrific lies about the worst a person could go through, Judge A kept feelings out of the matter. A really good decision was to keep the camera in the court. I definitely agree with that, by the way. The world should see what's going on. That allows the judge, basically, no one can blame her. And they would have, by the way. They would have said, if this would have been shut down, the jury would have made the same decision. No, she did something behind the scenes. It's all a plot. It's horrific. Yeah, you got to see it play out real time. But they kept the courts there so that the world could see the fair and non-biased outcome. She acknowledged everyone working in the courtroom. She did, by the way. She would actually give them shout outs, which was kind of nice there. And that shows her to be a real person. I wouldn't have had the time or the patience for bad lawyering. There was a lot of bad lawyering from one side. Not going to say who. AH. And it had lots of that from one side. Indeed. There are also comments talking about how this judge is the best judge out there. Never seen another judge. Never seen someone so patient and kind. But I thought that this comment, it was a really telling one. Why? Because it is the truth. Quote, I became aware that AH's trolls had taken to trying to destroy this judge. They have made a mission to ruin lives of all of those who don't follow their beliefs. By the way, where do you think that comes from? It comes from people like AH. It comes from people like Elaine. They went out. They directed traffic, as it were. They told the entire world, this judge did not allow us to do X, Y, and Z. Basically, you need to come in and you need to defend me. Yeah, they're the ones who telegraphed this, and they telegraphed it publicly for all to see. Continuing, I just wish to say, as a survivor of DV, thank you for being fair and patient and allowed the truth to be seen worldwide, showing that manipulative abusers don't always win. And I hate the fact that don't always, because they win far too often. This was a big one because it does blow back on that. Thank you for showing that truth wins. You have allowed many male victims to come out of the dark and allowed all victims hope that justice can be achieved. Thank you. Thank you. But anyway, let me know what you think about this stuff. And as always, I appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work. I can't say thank you enough about that. We are closing in on 400,000 subscribers too. If you hadn't subscribed, make sure you do. And if you want to help out the channel, there are links in the description. We could always use your help. Thank you. Check those out. You being here, though, that is the biggest help of all. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm going to end this here. Thank you again. And we will see you very, very soon.